Yes, good day students. So today we're going to be looking at break-even analysis, or break-even points analysis and demand and supply function. So first and foremost, we're going to cover break-even point and then we're going to go to demand and supply. So what I will try and do is that I'm only going to show you one example of each, but you can go on LMS and look at the question again and watch the video how I solved it. So what is break-even point? Break-even point is simply the sales volume where neither profit nor loss is made. At the point where when you are trying to make a business decision, you're trying to make profit, you are not making a profit, neither you're making a loss. You're just staying in business. So let's look at a very simple example and then give you a formula and then we'll solve it. Question 1. Consider a firm that manufactures kitchen units with a projected selling price of $3,500. The firm has fixed cost of $60,000 Namibian dollars per month and variable cost per kitchen unit are at $500 per month. Now calculate, number 1, calculate the firm's break-even level of monthly output. Second question, if the firm plans to sell 30 kitchen units per month, calculate its expected monthly profit. And question 3, if the firm is making a loss of $12,000 per month, what increase in production would be required to break even? So I'm quickly going to give you the formula. The formula for break even is equal to total revenue, when total revenue is equal to total cost. TL, total revenue, TC is total cost. So what is total revenue? Total revenue is simply the selling price multiplied by quantity of units sold, that is the total revenue, and the total cost is equal to variable cost multiplied by quantity plus the fixed cost. Okay, so we can simplify this as SPQ is equal to VCQ plus FC. SPQ stands for the total revenue, VCQ plus FC is the total. So whenever this equates itself, you're going to have a break-even point. Now let's look at our question. So what we said is that we have, the first question said, we should calculate the firm's break-even level monthly of output. When you hear the word output, you need to calculate the quantity. So what you're going to have here is 3,500 Q, because we don't know the quantity, is equal to, we say 500 is the variable cost, 500 Q plus 60,000. Remember, this is in dollars. So what we're doing here is we need to solve for Q. So this is 3,500 Q minus 500 Q is equal to 60,000. We're taking like terms. So 3,500 Q minus 500 Q will be equal to 3,000 Q. 60,000, and you divide both sides by Q. So the end you're going to get 60,000 divided by 3,000, and your Q is equal to 20. That is for the first question. The second question says we should calculate if the firm plans to sell 30 kitchen units per month. Calculate its expected monthly profit. Now, profit is simply total revenue minus total cost. Revenue minus cost will give you your profit. So remember, the question says if the firm sells 30 kitchen units. So now we have what number of quantity. So it's 3,500. We're only going to substitute 30 into the equation minus 500 into bracket plus 60,000. Nothing changes in the question. The main question still remains the same. We are only solving including the quantity. 30, if what's going to be the profit if you're selling 30 units. Remember, in order to break even is 20. So if you're selling 30, definitely you're going to make a profit, because if you sold 20, you already break even. So by selling 30, you multiply 30 by 3,500, you have 105,000 minus into bracket 15,000 plus 60,000. So what you're going to have here is 105,000 minus 75,000. And this is equal to $30,000. So if you're selling 30 kitchen units, you're going to make a profit of $30,000. Now let's calculate what's going to happen if you have a loss in the situation of a loss. Now, if your profit is total revenue minus total cost, your loss is simply total cost minus total revenue. So we're going to substitute again. If the firm is making a loss of 12,000, so now we've given the answer of the loss, okay? 12,000. We're making a loss of 12,000 per month. What increase in production will be required to break even? What increase in production? Now we are looking for the quantity. It's equal to 500. Since we don't know the quantity, because we're looking for that. What's going to make it a loss? 60,000. Minus revenue. Remember, revenue is into bracket 3,500 multiplied by the quantity. So what you're going to have here is the loss, which is 12,000, is equal to 500 cubed plus 60,000 minus 3,500 cubed. Remember, this 3,500 cubed is the total revenue, okay? So when we solve this out, you're going to get we're going to take like terms, okay? We take like terms. So this is 12,000 minus 60,000 is equal to 500 cubed minus 3,500 cubed. When you solve this, you're going to get negative 48,000 is equal to negative 3,000. 3,000 cubed. And when you solve for cube, your cube is equal to 16. So you're going to make a loss. If you make a loss of, if the firm is making a loss of 12,000, that means the firm is selling only 16 units of that product. So that's it about total revenue, break-even analysis, profit and loss. Now let's look at demand and supply function. Remember, you can always get this question on your LMS if you want to practice. So the demand and supply function, here we're looking at the equilibrium point between demand and supply. So listen to the question. In a competitive market for an agricultural product, the supply function is given by the equation P is equal to 400 plus 10QS, where P is the price of the product in the per ton, and QS is the quantity supplied per time period. The demand function is given by the equation P is equal to 4,000 minus 2QD. where QD is the quantity demanded per ton period. Calculate the equilibrium price and quantity. Now, what we have here, we have this equation. This is for quantity supplied, and this is for demand. Now, well, the question asked is calculate the equilibrium price and quantity. So it's always about the equilibrium. I mean, remember your economics. Your demand function always slopes downward and your supply function slopes upward. This point is known as the equilibrium point. This is your quantity, this is your price. So we are looking for equilibrium point. Now, looking at this question, let's solve. So what we mean by equilibrium is that QS and QD are equal. So, since they are equal, that means 400 plus 10 QS is equal. We can just put the S, okay, not to get you confused. And the D as well is equal to 4,000 minus 2Q. If you take like tens, this is 10Q plus 2Q is equal to 4,000 minus 400. 10Q plus 2Q, 12Q is equal to 4,000. So 4,000 minus 400 is equal to 3,600. And if you divide both sides by 12 in order to eliminate it and find Q, Q is equal to 3,600 divided by 12. And your Q is equal to 300. Now that you solve Q, what you can do now is to substitute Q either into this equation, the first one, or the second one. Let's solve for this. Substitute Q into this equation. So P is equal to, we are looking for the price now, is equal to 400 plus 10. Substitute Q, which is 300. And if you do that, you're going to get 400 plus 3,000, right? And your P is equal to 3,400. Now you can also try this at home. Try to substitute Q, that is 300, into this second equation, and you're still going to arrive at the same answer. And that is how you find out if your answer is correct or wrong. I hope you understand it, and if you have any difficulties, you can always contact me or contact your private lecturer. Thank you.